Well, ladies and gentlemen, a happy morning. Welcome you all once again. Can I hear a round of applause? That's how we judge on your Josh right now. And here we are, Atlassian Community Bengaluru. We shall start off with our eminence who are going to be joining here on this beautiful podium. Are you all ready? How ready are you? Ever ready, huh? That's great, that's nice. Keep on your happy faces, and also the excitement should be on, guys. Let's put on a beautiful smile and let's shake hands and say thank you to each other once again. अब की बार थोड़ा हंसी मजाक के साथ, huh? Don't be so stranger to each other. Yes, as I told you very clearly, a team works only when the teammates are together. Yes, we're all teammates here? Absolutely. Thank you so much. I believe in you and I have a lot of faith in you. And yes, we shall start off with our real agenda of this beautiful day. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, let's give it a round of applause. Zordar taaliyan honi chahiye. Can we all make a huge round of applause? And yes, I would like to welcome a panel moderator, Mr. Girish Shenoy ke liye. Zordar taaliyan. Well, he's an IT veteran with over 2 decades of experience. So in various roles as a SharePoint developer, SharePoint server farm administrator, Atlassian architect, well, enterprise program manager. Well, he's currently working at Microgenesis as the head of technical services. Zordar taaliyon ke saath, give it a huge round of applause, everybody. Let's welcome the eminent. I present to you Mr. Girish Shenoy. And now we have Dipendu Biswas. Zordar taaliyon ke saath, let's welcome the head of information technology at Theresa Technologies. Well, he has 24 years of experience in planning, architecture, design, development, and implementation of enterprise solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, please, he has been led as an implementation of JIRA and deployed artificial intelligence for service management. Zordar taaliyon ke saath, I present you Mr. Dipendu Biswas. And now it's time to call on yet another eminent panelist, Mr. Wasim. Zordar taaliyon ke saath. When he comes over 14 years of industry experience, is currently working as a director, cloud customer engineering, a seasoned cloud leader specializing in building and managing global SRE operations from the ground up for billion-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, Zordar taaliyan honi chahiye. An expert in cloud customer engineering, where he has consistently driven transformative change and operational excellence. Well, here we present to you yet another eminent personality. Please give it a round of applause, Mr. Wasim ke liye. Next up, we would like to call upon our panelist, Mr. Hari Prasad TN. As a forward-thinking and a transformative leader, Hari Prasad has had an IT transformation initiatives as a senior director of IT at Atlassian. With 2 decades of experience in the IT field, Hari Prasad has consistently delivered business value through digital initiatives. Well, his expertise encompasses strengthening cybersecurity, cost and risk reduction, compliances, adherence, support for innovation, enhancement of customer interactions. Ladies and gentlemen, please, Zordar taaliyon ke saath, we present to you Mr. Hari Prasad TN. We're all set, we're all ready. Can you make some noise once again? Together, everybody, put your hands together. Make some noise. Atlassian Community Bengaluru and the panelists on board.
Thank you, Santosh, for the great introduction here, I think. So every time we do this community event of Atlassian, we try to bring in new formats. As you see, innovation is in our lineage. So this time we thought there's a lot of buzz happening in the industry about AI, ops, AI, IT service management, the influence of AI. And that's where, I wanted to certainly run this panel with the stalwarts of industry who have been transforming businesses, transforming organizations with the latest cutting-edge technologies. And I want to really welcome, once again, all of you here for coming up on one of the invites. And we were short of 2 more panelists. So one of the panelists was supposed to come from Ahmedabad. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it because of the ongoing bomb threats and the flight bomb threats. And then there was one more panelist. Unfortunately, there was a personal emergency this morning who couldn't make it. So with this, we are still okay because we still have a very strong panel. If not five, I think three is better than five. So, and you'll learn why it is, why I said this. So with this, I want to start with a few of the questions. So these were the questions which we have picked up from the industry and from the experts, industry experts. And we are going to dive into these questions in detail. And at the end, if time permits, we'll also pass around the mics to you so that we can talk about your transformation journey. And if you have any questions, leaders are here to address those. So with this, I want to start the first question for Dipendu. And then, let's go in an order so that it's easier for me to kind of rotate. Dipendu, my question to you is, how has AI technology begun to reshape IT service management processes in organizations?
Yeah, thanks for that question. That's very apt because processes are something that's very uncomfortable for all of us because we are naturally inclined to interact with each other and get the job done. However, in an organization, there's a culture, and the processes reflect that culture. To adapt to the new culture, it takes time for someone joining or onboarding. And if this process is seamless, then it becomes easy for the new person to adjust to the culture. And that seamlessness can only come when technology is automated. And of late, the greatest technology is AI, which mimics human behavior because earlier IT processes were more digital, right? They did not mimic human behavior. Humans had to adapt to it, but with AI, the technology is adapting to humans and making their life easier so that they can adjust to the company culture, understand the processes, and seamlessly adhere to the processes, because technology like service management or the various service management products that are available, they follow certain templates, organization templates representing organizational processes. So that has been thought through, and employees just have to use that product, and automatically the processes will be adhered to.
Great. So what's your opinion on this, Wasim?
See, processes, especially in any IT setup that we have, processes basically bring together different teams to deliver the service to the end customer. So for the end customer, it's always about the company. They are B2B, right? So when they raise a specific request or an incident, or even have some requirements, on our side, there are these AI tools that are helping us executing the process with ticket routing, automated responses, and also understanding some of the trends that come from various geographies, right? Helping us predict the workload and things like these, right? So in certain cases, it can be an input to the system that we receive from our external customers or vendors that are processed, and then right deflect or a deviation happens to the specific team. So cutting short that hop from customer submitting the ticket to when it is actually reaching the right team for them to service. So these are certain things that are really helping us supporting customers globally.
Great. Hari?
Yeah. Morning, everybody. So thank you, Girish. So again, as Wasim and the point to mention, incident management, right? That's everybody talk about. And how do we categorize using AI, right? So AI is smart to categorize the ticket, and that will help our friend-end agent to reduce those ticket numbers, right? And another thing is predictive analyze, right? How a failure is occurring. So we can be proactive. Things are moving from proactive to preemptive, and now like self-healing, right? So the process are getting transformed such a way the AI can close like 60% of the first resolution tickets, right? How those helping and also the virtual agents, right? Multiple companies introduce virtual agents because first contact is a virtual agent, right? How a virtual agent can close like 40 to 60% of tickets, that also helping overall IT and organization.
Great. So, I understand it really drives the operational efficiency, right? No doubt about it. So, Wasim, this question is for you, right? Can you just provide examples of how AI has specifically helped you improve the operational efficiency at your organization?
See, when we talk about modern day operations, it is about you integrating a lot of open source systems into your ecosystem, right? Into your existing IT setup. So now you talk about cloud observability as an area, you bring a lot of open source tools into the play, right? Now, all of these systems basically bring data in a different format. Now, when you are around cloud observability, event management, and that area, it is always about alert fatigue, a lot of alerts, and things like these, right? It is about you have so many alerts coming in, and you're trying to find where the right problems are to service and ensure there is no interruption to your customers, right?
True.
Now, what these AI systems have done over time is that has reduced this overhead of us doing a lot of BI analysis, getting through the trend patterns, understanding where the problems are. Now, most of this was a reactive problem management. You do weekly analysis, you do monthly analysis, then try to find a pattern that a specific part of the infrastructure is problematic or a piece of software, right? Now that has changed. Now you are talking about predictive analysis, right? That way you have a trend. Using the trend, you are able to predict that certain things are predicted to failure or degrade mode, right? Then you're able to pick it up, service it before, do a maintenance upgrade, then try to ensure your services are smooth even before, it gives sort of an unpleasant experience to the customer.
Thank you, Wasim. I can totally connect it because Wasim has been looking after site reliability engineering for quite some time. So I do understand what that means here. So Hari, what's your opinion? I think, you are also in the similar line, looking after the entire infrastructure and incidents there.
Yeah, just to add again, the first success for us was bringing AI, the chatbot, for helping the users, right? Like, what are the recurring cases like password reset, all right? And also building a knowledge management system which integrate with AI will help us to reduce those tickets. So that was one of the first case in ITSM perspective. Then I'm also from a life science and pharma company, so we have the chemist using a lot of these chemical formulas. So we use like chatbot like 4, which help us to fasten those process very faster, right? It's beyond ITSM, but how this ITSM, like another thing is like internally we create the purchase orders and sales orders. You want to find the status of that, how chatbot can help us. We did a POC on that. So yeah, again, when we do the AI, it's a phase-by-phase approach, right? So we are in pilot phase to rolling out to bigger things. Again, the base is the data, right? So if data is not clean, what will the tool and technology bring? It's not going to help. So it's helping mostly the ITSM and the first level support cases.
Thank you. Dipendu?
Yeah, so this is quite apt question, and as I said, human behavior is something that people can relate to. We all use WhatsApp, and some of the things we try to resolve by discussions, creating groups, solve problems. In small organizations, WhatsApp is used to solve problems or tickets and incidents. And in larger organizations, Slack is being used. which has a lot of deep integration with various products like Jira Service Management, Service Desk, and all. So it makes it very easy for anyone to any one employee to ask a resolution to their problem over a chat, because they're already used to WhatsApp. So they jump onto Slack and make a request. Let's say their laptop is not working, or some internet is not working. They can chat on Slack and get a resolution for it. And for the people, I believe some of you, since you are attending this community event, are also involved in job roles for incident management, right? For you also, it's a natural behavior to interact on a chat platform and WhatsApp or Slack and resolve the questions or resolve the incidents that are being raised by other employees. There are deeper integrations with chatbots and various organizational systems, so that everything is available in the form of a human interaction, whether classifying a particular ticket, whether it's a new problem which the organization hasn't faced before, which needs to be looked at to build a new process, or it's something very regular thing. For example, in a conference room, there's not enough lighting, and we need lighting urgently. Accordingly, the person who's servicing that incident would quickly assign that ticket to the staff responsible for addressing the real estate issues of a conference room. These are certain things that help by having integrations in place or building integrations, so that there are no data silos. All the information, whether it's for the employee or for the person who's serving the employee, it's available through various adapters and integrations, so that the problems can be solved both for the employees as well as for the person who can solve as many problems as possible, and keep the organization running seamlessly.
Thank you, Dipendu. So this question is for Hari. So what are the common challenges? This is something not that you get to experience in every organization, especially if an organization already has certain integrations with AI and ML, then probably you may not be front-ending those challenges. But if I know you have been setting these, as a front runner, you have been setting these AIs in the organizations, as far as I know, right? So what are your challenges that you faced when you want to integrate AI into the IT service management?
Good question, Girish. So as soon as we mentioned AI into ITSM, so our team member think what's happening with my job, right? So that's the first concern everybody have. What I'm going to do, is it going to lose my job, especially the service desk and those, right? So we have to make sure that team understand it's to help, not to take out their job, right? And second, the data, right? How good is your master data, and also data to like the Bantu mentioned, Xylos, right? If data is not talking each other, you bring it latest AI, but your data is not clean and there is no integration. Another is, how do you integrate your tools, AI tool, with the legacy things? Is it API available to integrate? So that's data and API integrations. Another is educate your team, especially the IT team, say that this is here to help. And the fourth one is, we bring fancy technology, but how our employees, the users, adopt it, right? So we also have to make sure that employees understand these tools to help, and how do we train them, how to make sure that they understand how we can use it, and that educational purpose also is one of the key things.
Great. Wasim?
See, some of these AI tools most commonly used nowadays when people at work, right? They will have ChatGPT at disposal, Cloud AIs, and all of these systems, right? Or your company has invested in an AI system. Now, none of these systems are plug and play, that you bring directly plug and play into your Atlassian ecosystem or any IT tool. You really cannot directly integrate and expect it to basically deliver the success factors very initially, right? It's about how well you train these tools to understand your business, a sort of, the setup that you have, the nature of business you're delivering, and data quality is a challenge in the initial stages that you have. Like Hari rightly said, it's the integration, right? Because some of these tools, which are a native offering from an existing ecosystem, may already understand the system and pair up well. But when you take this to an existing, tool setup that you have, it might be very challenging for you to integrate, make them work together, understand data patterns that you have, then adding that efficiency, right? So it is a slow start, but how well the existing system is training that AI model, that is when the efficiency factor is rolling out in a periodic fashion, right? So yeah, data quality integration is one of the key challenges that we have observed wherever we have implemented.
Great. So I want to ask a question, to Dipendu, especially, what does it take for you to convince an IT professional, especially who are working in IT service management area, with this AI hitting into the IT service management? Even today, if you look into the calling roles, right? Many of these marketing calls, the biggest shift that I have seen is AI-based voice would call you, and then it will see if you are interested, whether it's a real estate or whatever it is. And then if you say press 1 to connect to a human, and then you do that. So with all these things featuring, right, what would be your takeaway or your, 2 words for these IT professionals? What should they be worried about? Or should they be even worried about these advancements?
Yeah, I think with the band performance, I think those things are being already taken care of, right? By getting the energy levels of people higher, and people coming to this event because they want to further their career or learn something new. But on top of it, if there's something that propels them higher, it's even better, right? All of you might have enjoyed this morning's performance, and right now all your antennas are up to catch the tips and tricks to do your things better or move up in the career. So similarly in organizations, there are gamified processes that are created, leaderboards are created with employees going above and beyond to do something, and they show up in the leaderboard. So when you try to adopt a technology for service management that has been adopted in the organization, if you try to make the best use of it and show your productivity, and also if the organization rewards you, whether it's monetary or whether it's through points that you have gone above and beyond a small certificate or something that is circulated through email across the organization, then it motivates employees to adopt service management much better, solve problems much better. That's one thing. Gamification is one. Another is education, training. If a new technology or a service management process is being introduced, it's very important to go through an entire life cycle of introduction of that new process or technology to the employees, hand-holding them how to use it to the best advantage of their work, so that they can finish their work efficiently and go home on time, rather than sit long hours just to find out what is the thing that I should do to solve this incident, or which team I should interact to solve this incident. So that kind of a support system should be there when a new process or service management workflow is introduced. And also at the end, if there are champions of the process within the organization, they should highlight what are the different ways people can use it, and these champions would then bring in more followers, so that everybody's life gets easier, regardless of what kind of role they are performing in an organization.
Thank you, Dipendu. I appreciate that, the gamification of the system. So I don't know how many of you use Atlassian community. Are you especially if you have been on the site, right? community.atlassian.com. So there is a gamification there. So who knows about this gamification? One hand. Two. That's it? I think you should all sign up for the Atlassian community. I think that's the place to get all your queries answered and things. Where every time you ask a question or you like someone's answer or you upvote someone's answer, you are going to get kudos, right? Kudos are like points. And that can certainly help you to go up the leaderboard, get the recognition from the Atlassian, right? And be a community leader as well. So with that, I'll go back to Wasim, right? So we all know that we have been implementing AI with respect to IT service management, right? So what KPIs or metrics do you think as an organization that we should follow once we implement AI? Because, I don't want to kind of implement and forget, because there is always, I would say, an opportunity to improve the investments that you make on the AI landscape.
See, I'll try to connect, Girish, this to some of the Atlassian tools that we use, right? Now, whenever we have a crisis situation, like a major incident or an outage or so, we basically have an estimate on how long does it take to sort of complete the entire process. And within that entire time frame that you have spent, what are the areas and different stakeholders who are involved in spending that time? Assume today, whenever there's an outage or a situation that we have, when we use the incident management module within Ops Genie, it does a lot of work for you that an incident commander is expected to do. Like, paging somebody, calling on the phones, taking down the notes that I called this person, he did not respond, then I called his manager. That is all automated, right? At the end, you get a very good timeline history that is systematic and accurate, right? Now, this entire process execution that happens in the back end, for me, if I was able to service an average number of tickets based on the priority on a given month, now a percentage of that contribution is coming from AI. That is, either it is doing the notes for me, either it is helping me build the RCA, parts of the RCA, and it is helping me also quickly get to a point where it is always about how quickly you respond and isolate a problem. If you isolate a problem to a specific area, fix is very close, right? So isolating the problem, now you have a situation in your environment and this is leading to a change that was executed, right? How well you can integrate your event management, incident, problem and change together, all of them integrated through this AI is really helping us pick up these patterns, then basically work through it and understand, look, this can be a factor, right? When somebody is triaging those issues for them, possibilities and what would have happened can help them quickly check and reduce the time in actually fixing the problem that we have in hand, right? So some of the KPIs are, yes, the time to acknowledge, time to respond that we measure. And in our systems, we have built some custom fields on those projects where we today track how many alerts that come in were auto-serviced by these systems and how many were human touch, right? By time the thing is, whoever is operating in these areas, they are now doing high-value, job execution. All of the low-level stuff is managed through that AI channel.
Great. Hari, what's your observation on this?
Yeah, so as Wasim mentioned, the first is how many tickets reduced because of AI, because it's able to serve by virtual agent, and another is MTTR, right? Mean time to resolutions. How many tickets, the resolution time is reduced because of AI. And then first call response, how many tickets AI is able to respond, right? So as per the research, like 40 to 60% MTR reduction because of AI, right? And again, the another thing is ROI, return of investment, right? If companies investing, they are going to ask how much cost you saved through operational efficiency, right? So I would say these 3-4 things. First is MTTR, FCR, and the ROI due to that investment.
Great. And my next question is to Dipendu. So what future trends do you foresee in the next 3 to 5 years with the intersection of AI with IT service management?
Yeah, so there's a lot happening, and AI is making that happen. So the rudimentary things like assigning tickets to the right team or organization, these things are getting automated and will be automated. And some of the work is already happening through natural language process. Understand what are the tickets that have been there, what are the problems that have been there in the organization, and how they were solved, and how it can be better solved through model creation for the incident resolutions. AI will be able to assign those tickets automatically, classify them automatically, and get those problems solved. So some of the things which Hari talked about, first call resolution. So that will happen. Very simple things like a new employee joining, they need a laptop and all that. All that a human should not have to do that, and it should be automatic. And AI will make that automatic so that the employee onboarding experience is great and they can be productive immediately, access organizations' data repository and get productive immediately. And other things are, mean time to resolution. That's very important for the leadership to understand that it's as low as possible and going down by the use of AI models and LLMs. Sometimes it could be very specific LLMs which are trained for the organization, so it can be very specific to the organization's culture, the way things are being resolved. So all of these, are something. And then there is a voice-based assistance and more mimicking natural behavior. Instead of tapping and typing, you just talk and ask your problems to be solved, and virtual agents would be solving that automatically. Or there would be, if it's a very complex problem, a human would be assigned automatically so that they can respond even through voice. And language is being sought very, by all, whether it's a user, whether it's the organization, or whether it's the government. So the local language support is very important. A lot of us are not native speakers of English. So if we can interact, we interact with our colleagues in our native languages at work mostly, and if we can interact with the organization's processes or the service management systems through our own language, it would translate automatically to the person who's handling, and they might speak in a different language, and that conversion AI will do, so that the problem gets resolved irrespective of what one person is requesting in what language, and how the other person is responding, in what language the other person is responding. So these are certain things that will make life easier through advanced language models.
Thank you. With that, I just remember one of the situations, right? In fact, I received a call from some marketing agency, which I did not realize that it was an AI-based voice. And it kept on saying, hello, hello. And then I thought, oh, maybe it's really, they're not able to hear me. It was so natural that you certainly can't make it, just can't figure it out within first 5-10 seconds that it was a robot which was trying to have a conversation with you using NLPs and LLMs that's available. It can even judge your temper or your intonation, trying to understand how it should respond further. Right? I mean, that's something that I have seen, and I would definitely wait on my toes to see if I can bring that to our employees. Trying to reach out to the IT support, either through the voice or even through the chat. So anybody wants to take that, this question?
Just to add to what AI in future, right? So it's like people are talking about hyper-automation. So how AI and RPA can work together. Currently, the task has automated, how end-to-end process can automate, right? So that's and also Atlassian also coming up with the change prediction, right? You're going to create a change. It can predict, or there can be a high failure due to this reason, right? Instead of blindly. And there are tools, ITSM with AI tools talking about what's the best time to patch a end user computer, right? So Microsoft released the patch on Tuesday, instead of blindly scheduling it, the tool can tell you what is the right time to do the patching, right? So these are the few things which coming up in near future.
Great. Now, we spoke about LLMs, we spoke about chat GPTs of the world, right? So with all of these coming in and getting integrated to AI and rapidly advancing, what ethical and governance practices do you think that organizations should adopt? Wasim, this is for you.
See, I have worked in the security space for about 4 or 5 years with a company where I worked with, right? Whenever you bring a tool, especially which is open source, or even a licensed product that you bring from any company, and if you try to get that out of the gate and into your IT infrastructure, some of the key things is the data that you're going to, the interaction that you're going to have with all of your tools into the AI system. It is about the data residency is a key element, because how these systems can use the data further into the marketing channels or anywhere, right? So data residency, flexibility of you having the control on installing these AI systems within your infrastructure, which you can control, right? So that becomes one, and especially it's all the regional compliance and processes that you have to get through, and some of the audit requirements and compliance that you have to meet. But mostly it is to do with how much control you have on the AI tool or the model that you are using. That becomes a very crucial question, because it's all about you sharing your business critical information into these systems, right? So I guess that's the key parameter.
Thanks, Wasim. Hari, I have a question for you specifically with respect to the legacy apps, because I know you that you have worked on, I would say, ultra modern high tech infra and apps, as well as you have worked backwards with respect to Server 2000 and those days. So how do you think that you can integrate or bring in AI if there is a legacy application and you want to now cover that up as part of your AI? What do you think that organizations can think about?
A good question, Girish. So before I answer that about the security, one is data security has to be keep in mind, because what information the team is putting, you publish the AI, and the employees are putting company confidential information in that, right? So data security and the awareness so people know what they put it, and AI bias, right? Sometimes we have to see how is it AI is biased, right? Because you may have to retrain.
Hallucinations.
Yeah. So yeah. And coming to the question on how legacy system integrated. So we were planning to integrate legacy system. Then we found one is how we can bring this data together, right? So instead of doing that one-to-one integration, so now we are exploring data lake or lake house. How we can bring all these data together to one place, then build AI top of that, right? So first thing is you should have a long-term strategy. What is your AI strategy, right? How do you bring this data together? So as I mentioned earlier, do you have API integrations? That's good. Otherwise, how we can bring data lake. There are new generation, especially for the ITSM perspective, the same tool, right? So you can bring this API tool, go to Windows servers or any of the cybersecurity tools, bring this data. Or implement a data lake or lake house, bring all these data together, then build AI top of that. So you will avoid multiple integrations because you have all your data in one place.
Thank you, Hari. I want to roll this next question to everyone, right? And this is of very interesting to me as well to learn from all of you, right? Can you please give me a success story of implementing AI in your organization? We'll start with Dipendu.
Yeah, sure. It's very important to make sure service management is automated And there are technologies which automate service management, but AI makes it even better. So we have our own LLMs, which are our intellectual property, because we are catering to banking and financial services, and it's highly regulated space. We use that to ensure that any information that is going through the system goes through proper security checks, and the AI makes sure they are, because humans can make mistakes. They can give some information which is should not be revealed. It could be their employee-specific information, which should be restricted to within one department. But if it gets into some tickets or something like that, it might be exposed to other department, which it should not happen. So all these checks are something that AI can scan through and remove, or make it anonymous, so that organizations security and credibility and reliability is maintained. And then we try to make sure that tickets can be assigned automatically depending on their type. And also, let's say when someone is manually responding to a ticket, we try to use features to make sure the language can be corrected through various tools. And also, let's say an empathy is to be relayed to the person who's been waiting for the problems to do the solve. So such features can be applied while resolving the ticket, so that it helps an employee to at least wait for some time and not get frustrated while it's taking a long time if it's a complicated process. So these are a few things which we have introduced, and we are building more on it to make sure our organization runs seamlessly.
Thank you. About you, Wasim.
So Girish, what we did in one of the previous practices or the implementation that I did, we basically commercialized our operations. So before this, all our customers were getting the same type of support. So we sort of created different levels and we sort of commercialized. Now with that came different requirements that, okay, somebody is in a platinum tier, this customer basically gets round the clock proactive operational support, right? So now in order to meet this, we brought in a lot of observability tools, and that meant a lot of noise, right? We were processing around 10,000 alerts a day, meaning 10,000 Jira tickets a day, and we had a team of about 20 people. So we were at a stage where you said, hey, look, either build a very large NOC center who can service this volume, or do something about it. Now, this was also to do with, these 10,000 alerts that we have. Even though you have this, there's a portion of, customers who tell you that there's a problem, right? So whatever we implemented was not adding value. You're already spending on these tools and stuff like that, right? So whatever base AI flavor that we had in the system, we started using this, with which we could predict some of these volume into. Already we had systems like Opsgenie doing the deduplication for us, but correlation was a challenge, right? There were multiple alerts into the system telling you that there's a common problem, right? So we started enhancing that around the correlation area, reduce the volume. It took about 3 to 4 months. Then we were servicing around 700 to 600 alerts in a day. That was almost 93% reduction in the volume that we did. But the bigger impact here was, we were now a team not reactive but proactive as an input to our development and infrastructure teams, telling them, hey, look, our customers have an experience and that experience is impacted in these areas, right? And also it really helped our product team to understand, with the trend of tickets that come in, what are areas of the product that customers heavily use, right? And if they can focus on those areas in building their roadmap, in enhancing or bringing in some added features or sub features and things like this. So overall, when we did this program of about 12 to 18 months, and we started interacting with our customers, they really liked, and they said, now we don't mind paying for a service like this, right? So company was around 40 to 50 million dollars ARR. In about 2 to 3 years, we became $1 billion company, right? So
Awesome.
see, there are things when like Hari rightly said, it's about you bring a tool or AI into your ecosystem, you need to have a roadmap on how we are going to manage it. If not, after a time, you reach a situation where you understand what do I do with it now? So much data, so much knowledge, and how to use it becomes the question, right? So
Orphan data. I can correlate to that. So, Hari, what's your take?
Yeah, thanks, Girish. So we are very early stage in AI in ITSM. So currently we are building knowledge articles, right? So we need a robust knowledge article so that virtual agent can suggest to the things. So currently we can see like 12 to 15% of ticket reductions through these AI and new ITSM tools and technologies. That's what we can see. But I was reading a use case for Unilever, right? So they did ITSM and AI, and they were able to reduce 60% of the tickets, and also they were able to save close to $10 million every year. So that's how technology, and again, if you go to our HDFC Bank or any of these banks, now we can see first is chatbot, right, through WhatsApp, or it's in like web content. That's helping us. So in my case, we are early stage. So currently we can see 10 to 12% of ticket reduction, and we expect to grow that to 20 to 30%.
Awesome. It's very useful to have your stories shared with the audiences. There's a lot of learning. I think I have to connect with Wasim, right? Bringing down the false positives or alerts down by 70%. That's a big achievement. So I want
you know
to,
how much work we did
I know
in the
that.
project.
I want to really applaud you for that. So that's one of the good, big achievement, I would say. Bringing down the noise by 70%. So yeah, good job, Wasim. So with this, I want to call this session, end of our session. However, I want to see if any of you from the audience have questions, and I'm sure we'll reward you for a good question, okay? And I think panelists has to approve that question. So yeah, please, can we have a mic?
Hi everyone, this is Nivedita. I work with Accenture for cloud data and AI practice. So I have done various roles around data, like data analyst, data engineering, and now into data science. So probably this question is for Hari, as he was talking about, having a data lakehouse, and we can avoid the integrations, various integrations, and bring all the data in one place, and then have AI built on top of that. So if I take a step back, AI will work well if the source of data is true, right? So how do you think that AI can help in having the master data right, because that is very important. So do you think this can happen?
Yeah, good question, Nivedita. Again, AI will not be able to do your master data cleanup, right? So somebody has to do it, because like when we were exploring AI and data lake, people thought you just inject all these source and the AI is going to clean up and bring a data lake. But initially, we have to do those mapping. How do you bring those data cleanup? And again, it shouldn't be a one-time job, right? Then bring a data framework, right? How do you make sure that your data is clean after that integration? But there are multiple tools and technologies now which help to move these data seamlessly, right? So it's not going to help you to clean up your master data, but there are effort. But again, having that framework, right? That is the key things, and there are a lot of tools and technologies to help you to build top of that. But that master data, it has to be a human effort.
Thank you. Yeah, please.
Yeah, this is Nagesh from Cadwell Infotech. See, any technology, end of the day, it should be.
Sorry, Nagesh, could you please hold the mic closer? Yeah.
Yeah, any technology, end of the day, it should make our life simpler, and also, make it easy for us, and also it should be accessible, and it should be inexpensive. So cost productivity is a major thing. So, so when you implement AI in any company or in any system, so it is definitely is going to add, to the company cost to company or expenditure. Okay. So after that, after implementing AI, how do you think that you will be, providing the services, same services, as you were providing earlier, in a better, and cheaper way, So is it, is going to increase the cost onto the customers or the users, end of the day? So that's my question, and, I'd like to clarify. If you have already done, what's the benefits, how exactly you're doing in terms of the cost, So that I would like to know, yeah.
I will take this question and then probably I'll pass on to one of the panelists here. So, talking about the IT service management. So, as you integrate AI portion into your service management, I think one of the early ROIs that you realize is the deflection of number of tickets that's flowing into your system. Like Wasim was saying, he used to get 10,000 alerts a day, right? And he had brought it down by 73%. So I think, going back to the users approaching for the support. So there are chatbots that today support NLPs, natural language processing. They understand what you need. Atlassian has chatbots. Atlassian has now Rovo, which you will today see a live demonstration this afternoon. The primary, I would say, the reason for implementing AI is to uphold or get your services better, right? Get better ROI, service your customers faster. Now, customers can be your internal employees, they can be your external customers. Think of this, where a customer earlier used to raise a question and then they had to wait overnight to receive a response. Versus now, chatbot is able to pick that up and they are conversational, right? It's not going to be like, okay, here is the link for what you're looking for. That comes later today. So today it will start greeting you and it will give you that NLPs and it will start make you feel that it's not a robot anymore, right? It's no more a simple chatbot where you create intents in the background and then, if that bot doesn't know what you're asking, then it will say, sorry, I can't help you, right? Or I will create an incident where somebody will get back to you tomorrow. But today, I think the cases of a bot saying that, sorry, I don't know, may have gone, I don't know statistically, but they may have gone down by 50%. Because it continuously learns with the LLMs in place, the bots learn. And you get to train your bots and build your own models as well, how you want the response, understanding the culture of your organization. I think Rovo is something that today I'm very much interested to also sit with you and learn about the new Atlassian advancements, where you can even have the bot design yourself to understand the organizational way of response, right? Like if I know you, then I'm going to give you a sort of response versus somebody, let's say, who is highly technical. I understand him as a bot, and then I will give him some different response, mainly into code and all that, while I may not give you that code when a finance guy is asking me the same question, right? So you get to understand the theme, the culture of the organization or the people or the teams who is asking you the question, and you get to respond back. So yeah, anybody wants to take that question from Nagesh?
Yeah, I mean, see, investment in any IT practice have been in certain projects or implementations where people buy tools because the tools are good. The tools have done wonders in some companies, in some projects, and now the tool is bought, that it's a very good tool. Or people have specific requirements. Now they just bring the tool, then they figure out what to do with the tool, right? So before bringing in any sort of tool, automation, AI, it's very important on how you lay out a plan on what you're going to achieve with the tool, right? And the second element is, for you, with the investment that you're making, it is going to add value not immediately, but on a phased manner, right? Either it is going to help you reduce the workforce that you have to bring to do so much of manual work, or it can also help you in areas where you can be fast compared to how you are operating today as a practice, and it can also help you be error-free. That is basically a bigger cost. Now, if your practice is not fast, you can't compete with your competitors outside who are doing the same work. If you are delivering stuff that is error-prone, then your customers will not like it. It is all about recurring revenue when you talk about cloud and the modern-day business operations, right? So that way, these investments will be justified, again, paired up with a good plan and how you execute and have a good governance on top of it.
Yeah, just to add it, I think, Nagesh, your main question was the cost, right? So how many of you remember you paid for incoming call when the mobile was launched, right? Or even for the internet, we used to disable the data so that it won't get consumed, right? Again, like I was reading somewhere, like current ChatGPT per day, the carbon footprint is equal to like the flight from, I think, Las Vegas, New York or something, right? Because so much compute it uses. So when technology evolves and adoption rate increase, I'm sure the cost also will come down because there are more people using and there are faster and new technology. Then we have to wait and watch on that.
Thank you. I think we're short of time. All leaders are available during the lunch session and post-lunch session. So if you may, if you have further questions, I would ask you to please get in touch with them. I'm sure Wasim, Hari, Deependu are here on the floor. And I just don't want to fall in between your lunch because I know you had a long day today and you lost a lot of energy dancing to Bunophonic. So with this, I would like to have a small token of appreciation from Atlassian. Nagraj. So,
thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
I was looking for Santosh. Thank you.
We have more moderators joining us. We have Mr. Vishnu. Yes. Thank you all to our entire panelists for giving us your precious time. and your knowledge and valuables which we're going to take it forward. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much, gentlemen.